Hi, I'm Annie, and I have a horrible family. It was all roses and sunshine when my dad was alive. However, when he passed away, my world descended into darkness. My mum and dad were separated way before my dad passed away. My mum, Regina, ended up cheating on him and married her affair partner, Sean. That's how she got my stepsister, Rita. I never approved of my mother's affair. I was a teenager when it happened, so I understood what she did was wrong. My parents had 50-50 custody of me because Dad didn't want me to miss out on having a mother. However, I never wanted to be with my mum. You see, after her marriage, Mum neglected me and focused all her attention on Rita. She only kept me around because she didn't want to pay child support. Sean also disliked me, but kept me around for the same reason. Growing up, Rita was the golden child. She was more beautiful than me and always got away with doing evil things. She broke my stuff and stole them all the time. When in school, she even made my boyfriend cheat on me with her. When I told my mother and Sean, they said,
"Don't be so dramatic about this, Annie. It's just a boy. You know Rita is more attractive than you. It's your fault for trusting your boyfriend. You should have known this would happen." "My daughter's such a popular girl that everyone falls in love with her. It's not her fault that you couldn't keep your boyfriend. Don't go blaming my daughter. They actually look pretty good together. Rita is more suited to your boyfriend. You two wouldn't have lasted anyway. She did you a favor." Yes, my own mother thought it was my fault. They said that I don't deserve a good man. Perhaps they were right. I did end up burning myself in the future. Also, Rita did me some great favors. She helped me take the trash out. I'll come to that part later. Anyway, while Rita had the beauty, she lacked the brain. I was actually the one with the good grades, so I was able to get into a prestigious college. I had my whole tuition paid for, with my dad's help. Sadly, my dad passed away shortly after I joined college. I was devastated. However, I knew I had to honor my father and get myself a good job. The only thing that would make him happy was seeing me happy and successful in life. I threw myself into my studies and was able to graduate with flying colors. My mum, nor Sean, ever had any interest in my studies. They paid out of pocket for Rita to go to an expensive university. Since Rita was dumb as a box of rocks, she was kicked out in the second year. From then, she lived with Mum and Sean. I had very little contact with them except my mum. Since I had lost my dad, I didn't want to lose my mum as well, so I ignored the favoritism and kept in touch. When I joined my job, I met Lucas. He was actually at the office for business reasons, and that's how we met. We talked for a while and hit it off. He even asked me out on a date and I agreed. We started to date and things got serious very fast. I also told him about all my insecurities with Rita. He said, "Don't worry, Annie, I'll never betray you like your exes. How can I hurt someone I love so much? You're everything to me." I trust you, Lucas. I'm glad you understand and sympathize with me. I've never had people take my side before. "I will always be there for you. No one and nothing will sway me. You are the only thing I want." With Lucas, I finally felt that I had a family. I was still in touch with my mum and actually sent her money to cover her bills. She still preferred Rita, but I didn't want to abandon her. However, my feeling of being unheard left when I was with Lucas. I loved him with all my heart. So when he proposed to me a few years later, I immediately said yes. When we were engaged, I took him to meet my family. Unfortunately, it included Sean and Rita. My mother would not have it otherwise, so I sucked it up and took Lucas to meet them. Throughout the day, Lucas kept reassuring me that he won't let Rita affect him. However, as soon as he saw her, his demeanor changed. The meeting went well for everyone except me. Rita kept flirting with Lucas all night and he didn't even brush her off. When I went home and confronted him, he said, "I really didn't expect your sister to be so much fun. You paint her like a villain. She sounds okay to me. We even have similar tastes. Have you seen how fashionable she is? I bet she has good money." "Lucas, she was flirting with you all night. You barely paid attention to me. You should have brushed her off." "Don't worry, I'm engaged to you. You have absolutely nothing to worry about." I was pretty pissed at Lucas, but I let it go. It was true that he was marrying me after all. It didn't matter what happened today. We wouldn't be around them much anyway. That was one of the worst mistakes of my life, actually. I will learn that later. The wedding happened, and Lucas started to act out right away. I did earn way more money than him, so he expected me to pay for everything. He even suggested putting all the money in our joint account and let him control the finances. I didn't agree with it. I like to have some personal cash for emergencies. We also argued about finances a lot. Lucas turned out to be a spendthrift and didn't want to change his ways. When I told him anything, he would say I was cheap and didn't deserve him. At one point, Lucas even said, "You're so cheap and lame, Annie. Why can't you be more like Rita?" I'm starting to think why people prefer her more. How can you say that to me, Lucas? Rita gets all her money from her dad. I have to earn everything myself and even send money to my mum. You can still spend more on me. I'm your husband and I deserve nice things. If I had known you would be like this, I would have chosen your sister instead. At least she is beautiful and has good taste. I was heartbroken by what Lucas said. I had been noticing that Rita often spent time with Lucas. He had shorter hours and lots of free time. I was working long hours to bring in the money that he wanted. Hell, he wouldn't even let me shorten my hours because he didn't want to cut his expenses. Slowly, I was getting fed up with him. It also didn't help that Rita was constantly gloating about how much time she and Lucas were spending together. She said, "Hey Annie, Lucas and I went out again. We had a great time today. Everyone thought we were a couple. They complimented us and told us we looked good together. I told you to stop hanging out with my husband so much. You need to respect my boundaries. I'm not your slave, Annie. I will do what I want. Try and stop me or Lucas. See if he gives in." She was right, actually. Lucas and I had numerous fights about his closeness with Rita. However, he refused to stop meeting with her. He claimed that Rita was good company and they were good friends. He told me that I need to get my jealousy under control. The fights happened frequently and I was the one who always caved and apologized. I was in love and didn't want to lose him, so I tried to suck it up some time. In my mind, I knew that I had to get away. However, I needed some time to be sure. About 1 year after we got married, I got the biggest shock of my life. I learnt that I was getting a big promotion at work. I thought that finally my money troubles will be over and me and Lucas might have a chance. So I hurried home to surprise him with the news. When I walked in the door, I could hear laughter and giggles from the living room. I was immediately on high alert. I knew whose voices those were, so I sneaked near the door and saw what was happening. It was Lucas and Rita sitting on my couch and kissing each other. I couldn't believe my eyes, but I was not prepared for what they were about to say. "I can't wait to marry you, Rita. I was so stupid when I got with Annie. Anyone can see how better you are than her." "Don't worry, Lucas. Once you divorce Annie, we'll get married as soon as possible. Then we will enjoy my huge inheritance when the time comes." "Yeah, we'll be so happy. Annie's very strict with money. She likes a cheap lifestyle. I'm glad I found someone who has the same taste as me." "Don't worry, Lucas. You've seen my dad's inheritance. It's a huge house and plenty of land. We will live there luxuriously. My trust fund will cover everything." "I know, love. We'll be very happy together. I can't wait to get rid of that ogre I married." I had had enough, so I made myself known. I loudly walked through the door and confronted them. They looked shocked, but showed no remorse. Rita was smirking at me and giving me evil looks. Lucas sat there with a face of stone. I was boiling inside. I said, "How dare you, Lucas? How could you do this to me?" "Don't shout at me. Rita is much better than you. I couldn't help myself. You knew this was coming." "I did so much for you and you betray me like this." "You're nothing but a piece of crap. You had no respect for our marriage and broke your vows." "Hey, don't blame him now. It's you who couldn't keep your man. Besides, you also know that men can't resist me. I'm better than you after all." "You have been a bad wife, Annie. I expect much more from now. You failed to keep me happy. Rita is so much better at it, so I am going to choose her." "You are going to leave me over her. Is that what you're saying?" "Yeah, and you cannot do anything about it. I have made my decision, and nothing will change that I am leaving with her right now." "Fine, then so be it. Now, get out of my house. Now! I don't want to see you two here ever again." "Don't worry, Annie. I don't want to be here anymore. I'll move out today. I won't be coming back. You can expect the divorce papers soon." Lucas said that and left with Rita in tow. When they finally left, I broke down in tears. I was sad, but not because of losing Lucas. I was sad because I was stupid enough to marry this man. Sure, I was in love, but I wish I had walked away sooner.
While I did cry my eyes out, I was also preparing for revenge. I heard that Rita promised Lucas her inheritance if he married her. But Lucas wasn't aware of something, and I wasn't going to tell him. At least not for a few days. Everything would be revealed when we both signed those divorce papers he promised. My time will come, and all I have to do is wait. Just 1 week after I discovered his cheating, Lucas called me to his mum's house to talk. I went because I was curious about what they wanted to say. When I went inside, I saw that Lucas and Rita were both present. Rita and Lucas looked pretty smug when they saw me. Rita even gave me a sly smirk and put her arm around Lucas's arm. I stayed quiet and let them continue the drama. When we sat down, I said, "What the hell do you two want now?"
I'm here for our divorce. I don't want to be with you anymore. I've the papers ready. You just have to sign them.
So, you've decided to leave me after all? Rita, do you have anything to say about this? As you can see, dear sister, I have stolen your man as well. You know I'm better than you. Here's just another proof of that. Now, sign those divorce papers and let him be happy with me.
I've already signed the papers, Annie. I don't want anything other than a divorce. I know better things are waiting for me with Rita. Your worthless assets mean nothing to me.
Fine. If you two are so sure about it, I'll sign the papers. Give me a moment. I took out a pen from my purse and signed the papers on the spot. A wave of peace and joy swept through me. I was finally free from my mooching and greedy husband. Now it was showtime. I knew things would become really entertaining. I said, "Here, Lucas, I have signed the divorce papers as well. I should thank you for going through the trouble of setting up the paperwork. Saved me a lot of work."
I wanted to be away from you as soon as possible. I found a better girl and want to settle with her as soon as possible.
Is that so, Lucas? You think Rita is just perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, Rita is the perfect match for me. She's more beautiful and has more riches than you. In a few years, she'll get a big inheritance and it will all be ours.
Oh my God, Lucas. I always thought you were a smart man. Now I see that you're an absolute idiot. Do you have any idea that Rita played you?
What do you mean, Annie? Why do you think Rita played me?
Because she lied to you. Serves you right, actually. This is just what you deserve. Rita, do you want to tell Lucas about the inheritance? Rita stayed quiet and looked really pale. She kept stuttering and acting innocent. Lucas was confused and looked between us continuously. When none of us spoke first, he said,
"What is this nonsense? Don't try to insult my girlfriend, Annie. You're nothing but a jealous and ugly girl. I won't believe any rumours you spread about Rita."
There are no rumours, Lucas. Since Rita is dead set on playing dumb, let me tell you. Rita has been lying about the inheritance. She has nothing to her name. There is no inheritance waiting for her.
That's impossible. I saw the house and property that she is supposed to get. It's only a matter of time. After that, she'll be 10 times richer than you.
Oh, really, Lucas? So, she took you to see the property? Well, did she tell you that the inheritance is actually mine?
What? What are you talking about? It can't be yours. It's her dad and you were only the stepchild.
It's not her dad's property, Lucas. It was actually my father's assets. He left it for me so that I can have a comfortable future. It is being handled by an estate manager who will hand it over to me next year.
That's impossible. You never told me about any inheritance. If it was yours, it would have been ours by now.
No, you're wrong about that. My father left a big trust fund and the property for me. But he never wanted Mum or her new family to get their hands on it, so he set up a trust, which would give me access when I am 25.
No, this can't be true. Rita, say something. Tell her she's lying to our faces.
Rita stayed quiet and looked away from us. Lucas kept asking her for answers. Slowly it dawned on him that I was telling the truth. At that moment he started to shout at Rita. Rita also shouted at him and kept accusing me of meddling in their relationship. I paid no heed to their comment. I gathered my things and left. After a few hours, both Lucas and Rita blew up my phone with texts and calls. I didn't read even one of them. When the day passed, my mother called me early in the morning. She said,
"Annie, I heard you have tried to destroy Rita's life. Why are you doing this?"
"You should be asking Rita why she destroyed her own life. I had nothing to do with it."
"Don't deny it, Annie. I'm ashamed to have raised a daughter like you. She can't help who she falls in love with. You need to share your inheritance with Rita to make up for your bad behaviour."
"You must be deluded, Mum." I'm sorry for speaking to you this way, but enough is enough. You have always played favourite, and I put up with it. You even supported Rita when she stole my husband. Now you expect me to give her half of my inheritance? That will never happen. You can't be so jealous of her, Annie. You need to sign the inheritance and share it with her. Lucas is threatening to leave her. If you give her at least half of her inheritance, he will surely stay. That's not my problem, Mum. However, there is one thing that I will do. I will stop giving you money. I think it's about time you reflect on your actions. I refuse to support you when you have never supported me. Goodbye, don't call me again. I said that and kept the phone. Mum kept calling me and texting me. She was begging me not to be so cruel. I guess it finally hit her that I wasn't just a useless child. Now she wants to make amends, but to me the ship has sailed. The very next day I went and changed my phone number. I was getting tired of being spammed by my ex-family and ex-husband. Blocking them would have been useless because they knew my number. They could have used other phone numbers to call me, so I blocked them and moved on with my life. Within a week, Lucas, Rita, Mum and Sean all took turns coming to my house. I never let them in. Lucas begged to have me back. Rita cried about me ruining her life. Mum and Sean wanted the money I had stopped giving them. To everyone I just replied that I would call the police if they didn't leave. Since the whole incident, I have moved to a different state. I got the promotion, but requested them for a different location. They knew my troubles and were sympathetic towards me. I was shifted to LA and I'm having a great time here. I have also managed to bag some dates, but nothing serious for now. As for the rest of them, I don't know exactly how they are. I heard from friends that Lucas broke up with Rita and was trashing her to anyone who will listen. Mum and Sean had to move to a smaller apartment because of financial issues. Relatives won't help them because they didn't like Rita and had no intention of supporting homewreckers. They were having trouble dealing with Rita since her spoiled life was getting too expensive for them. Last my friends heard, they were planning to kick her out. I'm doing quite well, so I've stopped bothering about them, but sometimes I chuckle humorously when I remember the old times.